ATN Bangla ইউকের এখনকার এডুকেশন আপনাদেরকে স্বাগত। আমি সিরাজুল বাসি চৌধুরী আপনাদেরকে শুভেচ্ছা জানাচ্ছি। আমরা চলে আসলাম নতুন টপিক নিয়ে কথা বলার জন্য। আজকের টপিক ইন্টারফেইথ উইক 2022। সো ইন্টারফেইথ উইক এই সপ্তাহে পালিত হচ্ছে। দিস উইক all over UK in different institutions, different places, different community centers, everywhere we are celebrating a very special week, Interfaith Week. In schools, children are learning about different kind of faith and also people without faith as well. So this is very important for all of us in the community to talk about this, to make us aware, or everyone, parents, students, community activists, guardians, whoever live in the community, we need to make them aware about this special week. That's why ATN Bangla UK is doing this particular program today to celebrate, to observe Interfaith Learning Week 2022. ATN Bangla UK program, we are broadcasting live on Sky Channel 779. We are on Facebook and also on YouTube. Please do share our program on Facebook. Our website www.atnbanglauk.tv. If you have any questions, any comments, anything you would like to share about Interfaith Week, do make a phone call or email us as well. So ashun porichito hoy amar tinjon otiti jara studio ebong via video link we'll have one more guest will be joining soon. On my left, Sister Christine, very known in the community, particularly in Tower Hamlets and definitely in London as well, who has been working hard for many, many years. She's a community leader and we invited her to come to talk about Interfaith Week, and she's from Christianity background. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, Sister
I'm
Christine?
fine, thank you.
And thank you very much having you on this particular program.
Thank you for inviting me.
Appreciated. And on my far left, another very special person for me. He was a guest in the past during Interfaith Week, so I invited him to come along to talk about Interfaith Week learning and also about Hinduism. He's from that particular background. Ramchandra Saha, Director, Vivekananda Human Center, London. Adab.
Namaskar.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for inviting.
Thank you very much. It's a real privilege to have you here. And after whole day work, you are sitting with me.
No, thank you always. You are working very hard.
Thank
so
you very much.
Help.
Appreciate that. And on my right here, we invited a person from Baha'i community, and we have got very good connections with them as well. And last time also another of his colleague who came along to talk about Interfaith Week learning and also about Mr. Baha'u'llah as well. Peyton Goodad, if I make a mistake, the last name is Bakroson, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So good evening.
Thank you.
How are
Thank
you?
you for having me. Very well, actually.
And who is a barrister, Barrett Law. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you very much for coming and joining us, particularly for this special program today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. So প্রিয় দর্শক, today's program আমরা ডেডিকেট করছি ইন্টারফেথ লার্নিং এর উপরে। আমরা কিন্তু এই সমাজে যারা থাকি, we live in the community, all faith and people without faith, we live side by side. And I'm going to read something very, very special from Tower Hamlets Interfaith Week. They have aims actually for this particular week. And this week started from Sunday. It will be going until 20th of November. So whole week we are celebrating this special week. The aims of the week are to strengthen good interfaith relations at all levels, increase awareness of the different and distinct faith communities in the UK, in particular celebrating and building on the contribution which their members make to their neighborhoods and to wider society. And also finally, increase understanding between people of religious and non-religious beliefs. So great themes, great aims. Sister Christine, what is the importance of Interfaith Week and how we are celebrating in this country?
Well, I think with the world in the situation that it's in, with war and hunger and all of the other things that are happening, the more we can come together and realize we're one human family and forget all the things that diversify us, that separate us, because we have for too long concentrated on what separates. I was brought up with what separates rather than what unites. And I think it's time we come together. And I see lots of signs of people coming together all over Tower Hamlets. I think Tower Hamlets is a fantastic place for people coming together. We do so many things together. So it is right and just that we're doing this. It's about time.
Absolutely. This is very good to celebrate. And this particular week is a focused week, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And we are doing it. I mean, sometimes we say, well, we are doing this week, or, but we should be talking about interfaith all the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yes, we should. Like we talk about Black History Month. It should be all of the time. We
Yes.
shouldn't have to designate like that, actually.
Yes.
We should be one human family getting on together. That's really, I'm sure, how God, whatever name we give him or her or whatever, that's how he intended us to live
Yes.
in harmony.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sister Christine. Barrister Payton, if I come to you, I know you represent, do you call it Baha'i?
Yes.
Religion is called Baha'i.
The
isn't
Baha'i
it?
faith, yes.
Baha'i faith. And the leader is Baha'u'llah.
Baha'u'llah,
isn't it?
yes.
That's correct. How do you see this particular week when in the community we are celebrating, and we have been celebrating for maybe many years? How do you see this?
I think it's a good step in the right direction. I think that it draws a lot of focus to the efforts of different religious groups throughout the country, and does get people to focus in, at least for a week out of the year, on the efforts that are being made, on not just the fact that we have such a diverse mix of religious groups in this country, but the work that they're doing and how they're serving their respective communities and the country and the world at large. And I think it does really help with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as Sister Christine said, we could be talking about every single day, but this particular week is designated for this particular event. So we'll do more things during that week. Maybe we are so busy, it's a modern world, like busy with work, busy with family, busy with many, many other things. So why not a particular week we dedicate to do even harder job during that week to make, make us unite sort of, together, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
That's very good. So we have a guest via video link. Via video link, we have another guest who joined, Farooq Hussain, Head of Religious Education, Jamayatul Ummah, London. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I can't hear. Can you unmute yourself, please, so I can hear? Can I request? He can hear me. I can see he's nodding his head, but I can't hear. Maybe I will try again, Mr. Farooq Hussain. Sorry, I'll come back to you in a minute. Ram Chandra Shah, Ram Dada, I will ask the same question. As Sister Christine said, the importance. I mean, from your sort of personal opinion and from Hinduism, how do you see this particular week? Interfaith
So, in Interfaith Week in UK, so as you said, so why we're celebrating 1 week, not every day. So, but 1 week at least we're celebrating now. I think it's many years now, and all our children and all young generation and everywhere workplace. So they are celebrating different way. So that way, so that when we are breaking our barriers, so to know other people, respect other people, your neighbor, so that when know about other religion. So I have seen so that when you try to organize for young children,
Yes.
so that when they are coming, couple of years ago I came to your place.
Yes.
So even you organizing tomorrow, so that when people is coming and young children, and they're asking about other religion. So they're asking so many questions to me as well.
Yes.
So why you do worship this image? Why you do, what is the Diwali? So that way, so that means I think it's better to know each other and respect.
Yes.
So that means if we do know each other, so no respect, no love. So
Yes.
that means I think, so therefore Interfaith Week is very important, and to, so at least 1 week, so we'll know each
And
other.
knowing someone, it becomes very normal. When we know
Yes.
someone, it's, I know about this.
I know about it.
you,
Yes,
who
yes,
you are
yes,
and everything. So you become very familiar with the culture, familiar with that particular religion, so that, both sort of, both ways you can share respect and your sort of that good attitudes toward each other, isn't it? This is
Yeah,
very
that is
important.
it.
Can I try again? Mr. Farooq Hussain, head of RE, Jamaatul Ummah. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Yeah.
Technical
I
team,
can hear you
he
clearly.
can probably, there is a problem with the sound in our system or not. I don't know whether he could try. Can you unmute yourself, please, to try again? Is there any button there, the audio? Okay. So we are not getting the sound here anyway. I don't know whether the broadcasting sound is. So maybe you can try to unmute yourself or allow the sound so we can hear. And maybe you can hear us. I can see that you're nodding your head and you're speaking. So we can't hear you from here anyway. So thank you very much. We'll try again. Sister Christine, I know you have been in the community or doing all the great work, philanthropy as well as charity activities, different kind of activities, and a lot of other things. So in the community, when I mean in Tower Hamlets, I'm talking about, as we said, the raising awareness about so young children. So what do you think about our young children? Do you think we should tell them about different religions, or people with different faiths, people without faith? Because sometimes some people think if someone doesn't believe in God, that means that person is maybe doesn't belong to this particular community or something. Because we have got say 6, 7, 8, whatever religions, and also humanism, atheism, agnosticism, whatever you can say. Some people don't believe in religions. Do you think we should teach our children about religions and also the people that don't have religion?
I think it's a much better society when ignorance is never a good thing. So when I'm ignorant of how you worship or what you believe in, there's a barrier immediately between us. And I can see that in some children where they've not been allowed to learn about other faiths.
Yes.
It's like something they're scared of. And you think, why are you scared? Knowledge should never make
Absolutely.
you scared. Knowledge
Absolutely.
opens doors. And I do think I often, where I live, very often you meet someone who doesn't talk to their neighbours. And you say, why don't you just knock on the door just once
say hello.
and say hello? Because you'll find that they're not going to bite you. They'll actually say hello. You don't know how thrilled they'll be because maybe no one else has said good
Yes.
hello. And then
And from there, you can start.
all sorts of things grow.
Yes, absolutely.
All sorts of things grow. And then you start sharing food. And you
Have
think,
cup of tea,
oh, what was all that about?
This is
Why was
great,
I
sharing
scared?
food, isn't it?
Yeah, because your
And
diet...
there are different kind of
includes-
celebrations during the year for many religions, isn't
Yeah.
it? And each time if you share things.
And you're enriched yourself by
Yes.
the knowledge and the friendship that now comes from
Yes.
knowing different people.
Right, absolutely. On that note, may I request technical team, if you show this very quick video, the message from one of the ministers, I think. Can you see about Interfaith Week? Whether the sound is working fine. Yes, please. Thank you.
In this
I can't hear
Interfaith
anything.
Week, spiritualists are proud to stand side by side with our partners in the Interfaith Network, helping to promote the cause of understanding and considering what unites us rather than what divides us. Interfaith Week is that opportunity to work together with people of different faiths, different religions, different worldviews, and of course, those of none. By building those bridges of understanding across those invisible barriers of belief, we can help to make the world a better place to live in for us all. As spiritualists, we believe that there is something of God in each individual, and that makes each person equally precious and equally important. Therefore, the more we build understanding, the greater we have the chance of living together in tolerance and in peace, working for the common good of all. Spiritualists believe that we are all interconnected, interconnected with each other, and also interconnected with our Father God. Alexander Pope famously once said, "We are all but parts of one stupendous whole, whose body nature is, and God the soul." The more we understand each other, the more we can build those bridges of tolerance for the future. The theme for this year's Interfaith Week is religious literacy. So let's do what we can to build religious literacy into our curriculums in schools and colleges and our training in our workplaces, in order that within our diverse communities we can appreciate each other's point of view in full recognition and acceptance that every person has the right to pursue their own pathway to God.
Very good message.
Now, any reflection?
Yes.
I very much agree. I think that education is this wonderful vehicle to teach people and to broaden their horizons. You know, in the Baha'i faith, education is referred to as mining for gems of value that are inherent in each of us, but are revealed through learning and education. And I think that when children, young adults, all of us, in fact, are taught about different religions, it reveals aspects of ourselves that we didn't even know that were there, and understandings. It allows us to connect with others in ways that we perhaps couldn't have before. And I think that's a very special thing that education can do.
Absolutely. I will try again. Farooq Hussain. Farooq Hussain, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I can hear you, but
Oh,
I
thank
don't
you.
know.
We can hear you too.
Oh, that's good.
That's very nice. So thank you very much. Sorry about this. We had a bit of technical difficulties. Now, you are a teacher and you are the head of Ari Jamaatul Ummah in a secondary school in Tower Hamlets. Now, we are talking about interfaith week learning. Okay? So my question to you, can you tell us the importance from your religion, importance of interfaith? How do you see this Interfaith Week?
Thank you so much. I do appreciate ATN Bangla has initiated to take such a wonderful program. It's really, really beneficial for the community, and I believe those people are watching us, and they will get a lot of benefit from this program. First of all, I also just thank my brothers and sisters and who are on the studio. I will start with the salam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
First of all, I would say Islam has given remarkable and enormous importance to have a strong relationship with the interfaith and non-faith people. And if we go back to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and first of all, he was born in 570 and 590 after 20 years, and he made the agreement with the people who were living different faith, that is called in Arabic Hilf al-Fudul. Therefore, there was no killing, no fighting, and no injustice, no unfairness in the society community. There is so much, as you know, every one of us, we know it. That is the first initiative taken by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then afterward, when he came from Makkah to Medina, that is called Charter of Medina, and then he built a strong relationship with the people, Jewish people, and then also there are different communities. Those people live in society, and he made a strong, relationship. That's called Magna Carta. People are saying that it is really savior for humanity. And you will find there is another one, the Sulh Hudaybiyah, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. While Prophet Muhammad he wanted to go back to from Medina to Mecca to perform Umrah. On the time when they stopped him, they had a treaty with the people. And there are a number of issues are there, while the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is a living example for us how he said, example how he said to have a strong relationship and interfaith. Those people have faith, no faith. Then another one I'm going to give you example very importantly. One day, one Jewish funeral prayer was taking place, and they're passing by next to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he stood up, he respected, and he said, "Kumu," you stood up, and he stand up and also show respect to the Jewish dead body. What is the message we are getting from? We are getting the message from it that yes, human being, whoever it is, doesn't matter you are believer, you are non-believer, you have faith or no faith, we need to respect. We need to create tolerance. We need to live in a society in harmony. This is very, very important nowadays because there are a number of people nowadays, they have got extreme views. Islam doesn't support it. Islam always come up with the negativity, and Islam come up with the love, respect, affection, mahabbah. And then another one is that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to visit the Jewish child, and while he was sick.
Farooq
and he
Hussain, can I just stop you for a minute? We'll go to a short break. After the break, definitely I will listen to you and my guest as well as, yeah, they will listen to you as well. So, প্রিয় দর্শক, আমরা কথা বলছি আমাদের আজকের টপিক ইন্টারফেইথ উইক. Throughout this week in this country, we are observing, we are celebrating Interfaith Week. And also, we are talking about different faiths and people without faith as well. Because in the society, we live side by side. We have to go to a short break. We'll be back soon.
I think
প্রিয় দর্শক, বিরতির পর আবার এডুকেশন আওয়ারে আমরা কথা বলছি আজকের টপিক ইন্টারফেথ উইক 2022. So Interfaith Week, this week particularly we are celebrating, observing different faiths, and we are talking about different beliefs and people without belief as well. In different schools in this country, colleges, universities, community centers, everywhere we are talking about this. And this is very good for all of us as we live in the community and we have different faiths and also people without faith. And speakers, guests, they're talking about how we can live in harmony within ourselves as well as make a better society for all of us. So ATN Bangla UK's program, we are broadcasting live 7/9. We are on Facebook and YouTube. Please do share our program. Our website, www.atnbanglauk.tv. We have got 3 guests in the panel at the studio. On my left here, Sister Christine, who is a community leader and very well known in London. Welcome back, Sister Christine. Thank you.
Thank you.
And on my far left, Ramchandra Shaha, Director, Vivekananda Human Center, London. Welcome back, Dada.
Thank you.
And on my right, Barrister Payton. He is representing Baha'i religion. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Before going to break, we are talking to Mr. Farooq Hussain. We'll go to him to listen to his story. He was talking about Prophet, peace be upon him, what he said, what he did, from his religion he's talking about. I'll come to you, Ramchandra Shaha. From your religion, Hinduism, you do a lot of good practices. I mean, all the good practices you do, and there are many similarities with other religions as well. So can you tell us something you feel you would like to share from your religion during this particular week?
You can see is from Hinduism, so that when we believe in the main theme is Vasudeva Kutumbakam. So the world is only one family. We believe in unity and we believe in unity in diversity. So within Hinduism is an ocean, so that means it's very difficult to explain within short time, but so we believe in diversity. So, but sometimes some people, they do not understand, so that when they're thinking, so that means we believe in different God. No, because we believe in only one God. But, so, according our religion, so that means Ekam Shad Bibram Bahuda Bhavanti. So, says the truth is one, but different people call is different name. So that is, so in the from beginning you can see, so we believe in unity and diversity. And so, and if you can see, so that when our history, so that when within Hinduism, there is so many sectors. So that when we believe in God with form, even we
one God.
One God. Even so that when we believe in God with form, even we believe in God without form. So we believe in God as a father. Also, we believe in God as an even mother. So that but within Hinduism, you can see there is no particular person as a founder, like say, with like other.
So there is no particular leader.
No particular, like say Christianity. So if you think about Bible or Jesus, then it's very difficult. If you in Islam, so if you do not believe in Muhammad or Quran, it's very difficult to believe. So if you think Hinduism, so that means there is no particular. So like Buddhism, so that means Buddha and like Sikhism, so Nanak. But Hinduism, so that means we call main thing is Vedanta, and this Ved and Vedanta. Vedanta is part of Upanishad. That Upanishad is nearly 108 Upanishad. So, and is, so when we are talking about the Vedanta, Vivekananda said there is no beginning, no end. It's very difficult to understand. So how is it possible so that means no beginning, no end? So why is this philosophy? So that if we have beginning, then it will be end.
Right.
But we have no beginning, we have no end. 1,000 and 1,000 years. So we collected all this knowledge through Rishi. So we call them Rishi. And so, and so that means Hinduism, so one thing is freedom. So whatever I say, someone will not tell why you're telling. So this is my belief, my faith. So that means, but I respect you. So you can see within Hinduism, so means some people, they do not believe in God with form, the Advaitavad. So, and some people, they believe in God, they worship as with image. But we are not fighting each other. So we are not killing each other. So we have tolerance within our religion. The same way, so that means even we believe other religion as true as well. I follow Vivekananda and Ramakrishna's education, teaching. So, and Ramakrishna practiced not only Hinduism, different sects, Vaishnava, Shakta, and other. So that means also he practiced Islam, Christianity, and Buddhism, other from Dakshineshwar. So from that background, so that when Vivekananda went to Chicago in 1893, so that also everyone tried to establish their religion is the best. But Vivekananda is break it. He said, right. So that means, so if one religion is true, then other religion is true. So only the different parts we practice. Okay. So if you are sincere, any particular path, you will reach the same goal.
Wow.
So that means, that is the, I think this is related to interfaith. So that means, and we do not believe only toleration, so we accept all religion is true. Because toleration is limit, so that means I tolerate. Maybe I am not listening to you, or I am not telling anything, so many reasons, but no, because Hinduism, we accept all religion as true. And we believe, so that means through any religion, if you are sincere, and if you practice in your life, you will reach that goal. So therefore, so Interfaith Week, so you are telling, so that means, so believe in God, even we do not believe, some people, they don't believe in God, we accept them. So that means that is their view, so that means we can reach.
Excellent.
So,
Well said. Thank you very much. Farooq Hussain, can you hear me now? I know I stopped you on the way, halfway through. Would you like to continue with your story you wanted to make?
No, that's fine. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please. Very clear.
Now, what I wanted to say, the contribution of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam towards interfaith, it is really remarkable.
Sorry, I can hear, but the sound is not coming here through the microphone in the studio. So maybe, can I request my technical team, please? Can we just have the sound in the studio as well, so my guests can hear? Perfect. Yes, Mr. Farooq Hussain, continue.
Yeah, I can hear you. What I'm saying, the contribution of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he made towards interfaith, it is really remarkable and enormous. And what I have said, I wanted to share with you, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to live with the community, used to live with the people who had faith, who had no faith. Therefore, he set some of the examples. For example, you have said what we can do within this week. Number one, I would say Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said he is not a believer whose neighbors is empty tummy, but he is having a lot of food. That means distributing food is one of the best, the practice, regardless of religion, regardless of race, regardless of faith. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam time, one goat slaughtered. On that time, Anas bin Malik radiallahu ta'ala anhu was a servant of Prophet Muhammad. Rasulullah, he said, from where are you going to start? He said, you start from the right. Then he said, right, the first house is the Jewish family. The Prophet Muhammad, okay, start from the Jewish family. Now you see that. That means the tolerance, the priority, not given to the faith, priority not given to the Muslim, priority has given as a human being. Therefore, we need to respect people, we need to understand people, we need to understand their belief, their practices, and also we need to respect them, we need to understand them. The second point what I have said, nowadays, there are a lot of problems going on in our neighbors, problems happening. That we need to start hey and hello. Sometimes we don't talk to them, sometimes we don't interact with them, sometimes we also, some situation is hatred, something goes on. Therefore, while we live in the same building, the non-believers, faith, non-faith people are coming, we need to interact with them. We need to exchange our views and ideas with them. Then sometime when friendship will come up, on the time, if I'm in a bad situation, he's going to come or she's going to come to help me. if he is or she is in a bad situation, we're going to go and see what's going on in helping each other, supporting each other. The Rasulullah said, Khairun nas mayyan faun nas. Khairun nas means he is the best person. Mayyan faun nas, who is coming up with the helping hand to other people. So now it is regardless of religion. Rasulullah didn't say the Muslim, he is the best Muslim who come up with the help to others. No. He said, Khairun nas mayyan faun nas. Therefore, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was universal. He was for everyone. He was not for Muslim only. Therefore, whatever he set example for us, if we can go, we can't go everything. We can go just a little bit few. For example, distributing food, we can do it. Exchanging views and ideas, we can do it. And we need to show our tolerance to other people as well. Because believer, non-believer, faith, non-faith people will do something that we need to tolerate. We are not coming out extreme. And the Rasulullah time, one Jewish person came in and he started urinate in the Masjid Nabawi. On that time, Rasulullah said, no, don't stop him. Let him finish. Once he finished, on that time, he started talking to him very nicely, politely. Then he accepted Islam. That is the beauty of Islam. That is the beauty of interact people. That is the beauty to respect people, honor people. We are not coming up with the aggressive attitude. We are not coming up with the angry attitude. And anger attitude, this sort of thing is really negativity in our society.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Farooq Hussain. We'll come to you again. Barrister Payton, I know Mr. Farooq is talking about from Islam. We would like to hear something. I know there are many, many good stories from the leader Baha'u'llah. Anything you feel appropriate to share with us during this particular week?
Absolutely. Given the focus of this week is working with other faiths, I thought to start with a quotation from the Baha'i writings that describes what a Baha'i is. And it says that a Baha'i is somebody who seeks to work for the betterment of the world, to serve humanity, to work for universal peace and brotherhood. And I think that really encapsulates the soul of what the Baha'i faith is set out to achieve, is the unification of the human race. And as has been mentioned on this program previously, we see in society today this real feeling of isolation in people, that they feel so alone and so separated from everyone else. And this idea to introduce not just religion as a concept itself, but introduce religion as a way to encourage people to have more spiritualized feelings and thoughts, to connect with their inner selves on a different level, something that may actually be a consequence of not having learned about that in the past, is that they feel so isolated because they haven't learned to express themselves in such a way. They haven't learned to ask themselves those deep questions, or even ask their friends or their family or their community to feel spiritually connected with who they are, with where they live, which we know is much deeper than the material connections that we place such importance on today. And it's this reorientation of our focus in society that the Baha'i faith seeks to bring to people, to say that we're not simply individuals living in this world alone. We're all members of a unified community, and we need to act like it. And so the Baha'i faith places a lot of importance on social action, on using religious principles and putting them into practice to help benefit communities around the world, and also to use those same religious ideas in the discourses that we're facing in society today, to use the tools that we all have as spiritual beings to solve the problems that we face. Because ultimately, we can look at most of the problems in society today and say that they're a consequence of disunity. Simple as that. And that if we fix that core problem, which is feeling of the other, feeling separate, and that fear that comes from the unknown, by fixing that, we're able to create a system, as you mentioned previously, where we don't just tolerate people, but we love them as ourselves.
Excellent. You put this such a nice way. Thank you very much. Sister Christine, I know you have been working with different faith, people from different cultures, because Tower Hamlet is a diverse community, so many projects you do. Would you like to talk about your experience working in different projects or leading different projects in your center?
Well, just to picking up from where you've left off, I mean, it is about love, and love is a many splendored word, but it's very kind of we very often get the wrong end of the word love, don't we? We don't quite fully understand it, and we probably haven't experienced enough of it. The real love, totally disinterested, where people give of themselves and get nothing back, as it were. And there's a lot of misnomers around. I think we misunderstand love a lot. We probably use the word maybe too often, too glibly. But I would say that since COVID began, my experience has been that COVID began, lockdown and all of that, and we began to sort of do something very practical, which we thought we would be doing for maybe a month or two. And that was taking meals and hot food to people who were elderly, older, and on their own, vulnerable in some way, in Poplar to begin with. And then it began to spread. But the thing was that when we started, I think there were 3 of us peeling a sack of potatoes for the dinner. And we began to get other people, volunteers, to come in. And that sort of fed its own need, a different purpose altogether. More and more lockdown was coming in, people couldn't come out. But people came half an hour or an hour with their masks on, sat a little bit away from each other, and began a therapy which was not intended at all. I mean, this became like a mental health support group, because people were so lonely and so isolated. They were left on their own. They couldn't go out, they couldn't meet anyone, couldn't go anywhere. And it began to meet a need that we hadn't intended at all. 2.5 years later, those groups are still meeting. They met this morning. They're from all over Tower Hamlets, all faiths or none.
Wow.
That just doesn't seem to be a barrier, which is fantastic. That we are seeing maybe fewer barriers, because what unites us is stronger. And that is our care for each other, our love. Without talking about love, we don't talk about love. We just maybe try and do it. And like you were talking about tolerance. Tolerance is a horrible word, really. I'm going to tolerate you means I put up with you. You don't want me to do that.
That's why you're telling acceptance.
Yeah, that is just something so negative. So it has gone much, much deeper than that. And I know when I was growing up, we talked a lot about tolerance, tolerate people of other faiths. Not that I had a clue what people of other faiths were, because if you grew up in Ireland, wherever you grew up, I mean, our thing was we didn't talk to the Protestants. That's another group of Christians. So here we were, one Christian group not talking to another Christian group. Can you imagine how far we've travelled today?
Yes.
So here we are talking to people of other faiths altogether, and people of
And
no
people
faith.
without faith, yes.
And people
absolutely.
without faith. And when I see there's one of our volunteers who says he is an atheist, I don't believe it, because I think the love I see coming from him, wherever love is, God is.
Yes.
So I think there's way more that unites us than we are any idea of.
Absolutely.
And it's just such a shame that you've got people in government who don't seem to appreciate that. People in power.
I mean, some people, definitely. That's why you can see the wars and killing around the world. Still there are conflicts we can see. When you see these on our TV screen, we feel like, hey, these are human.
Yeah.
And they're dying every single day in such a way. We don't expect that.
Frightful.
Isn't it? This is great. Priya Darshak, we are talking about interfaith week learning, about different faiths and people without faith as well. This particular week, all over the country, we are celebrating, observing Interfaith Week, focusing, making us aware about different faiths and also relationship amongst ourselves as human. আমি কি টেকনিক্যাল টিমকে জিজ্ঞেস করতে পারি বিফোর গোয়িং টু ব্রেক, ইজ দ্যার এনি ওয়ে উই ক্যান ওয়াচ দিস শর্ট ভিডিও অর উই হ্যাভ টু গো আফটার দ্য ব্রেক? Yes, please.
Just talking about our friendship, myself, I've invited Mark to our Eid celebration, and Mark's not just met my parents and my siblings, he's met my whole family. But we respect each other and we like each other's company, and we don't let, like for example, our faiths, our opinions, our differences get in the way of our friendship.
And as part of this Interfaith Week, Irfan and I will be involved in different things. We've talked about Roses for Peace, we've talked about visiting places of worship, there'll be special poetry and food events, and each time it'll be great for each of us to have the opportunity to meet new people. So whoever is in your class at school, in your class you may have people of the same faith as you, or you may have people who are of different faiths, or you may have people who don't really go to a place of worship and they wouldn't say they are a religious person. But together we can learn from one another and about what we think and what we believe. So this Interfaith Week is a special time.
I mean, mention. We are talking about interfaith. We have to go to a short break. We'll be back soon. Thank you. প্রিয় দর্শক, বিরতির পর আবার এডুকেশন আওয়ারে আমরা কথা বলছি আজকের টপিক ইন্টারফেথ উইক 2022. And during this Interfaith Week, this week, particularly in this country, we are observing, we are celebrating, we are talking about different faiths and people without faith as well. This is a great week in schools, in colleges, in universities, in community centers, and many other places. We are having a talk, we are discussing about so many great things, and we are talking about our similarities. How can we respect each other, make good relationship, positive relationship amongst ourselves. And Interfaith Week, one of the aims, I'm reading again, increase understanding between people of religious and non-religious beliefs. This is great. We are one human. ATN Bangla, we are broadcasting this program live on Sky Channel 779. We are on Facebook and YouTube. Please do share our program. Our website, www.atnbanglauk.tv. In the studio, we have three guests. Sister Christine, a community leader, very well known in our community. Welcome back, Sister Christine.
Thank you.
And on my far left, Ramchandra Shaha, Director, Vivekananda Human Resource Center, London. Welcome back. And on my right here, Barrister Payton, and you are representing Baha'i religion. And via video link, Farooq Hussain, head of Auri Jamaatul Ummah Secondary School. Welcome back, Farooq Hussain.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So before break, we were watching a short video, and I just had a couple of things in my head. Maybe you can remember. He was talking about visiting places of worship. Like, I'm a Muslim, so I can go to another place of worship to see what they do. Now, and also gifts, presents, giving food to share, so many great things. I mean, definitely there are many common things, isn't it? But my question to three of you, I'll start from Sister Christine. How can you make our relationship even stronger, because still in the world so many things happening that we don't expect, like war, hate amongst different groups in the community, conflicts amongst people. I'm talking about in the world in general. So how can you make people more aware and to work towards peace rather than having problem, particularly during this Interfaith Week?
Well, I think in Tower Hamlets particularly, we do a lot of things together, and I know across Tower Hamlets they're thinking in the next few weeks, months in fact, of starting warm hubs. So that would be an ideal place where people can start coming together. There's no particular ownership of the building, but you just come and a cup of tea, but it's someplace warm to come. And in coming austere times that we're being warned about, lots of people won't be able to afford their electricity. Right. They'll be looking for someplace warm to come. And the cold, if you like, will unite them across all the other barriers. What unites me and you in the cold is being cold. It's not our faith really, it's our cold and our need to be warm and our need for shelter. So I think there are things that will happen over the next number of months, and it's up to us to use them positively to bring people together. And I think like the warm hubs, I see we have a small food bank. You see the people who come in from all quarters of life, some really desperate, and some may be able to cover it up a bit better. But it's the need that unites us. And I think the need for fellowship, for companionship, it's not just for food. Food is a sort of symbol of what we need. We need all sorts of food, not just food in our mouths, but food to know we're cared for, somebody cares for us, somebody gives us a ring to know that we're okay. And I think we just have to be very careful to get out of our igloo and get involved with other people.
Yes.
And break down the ice. We talk about companies and big companies, corporations. They have what they call team building days, and they usually begin with icebreakers. Well, I think we in community have icebreakers without even knowing that we're using icebreakers. We were just talking about saying hello to people. I say hello to people, most people, in the morning when I pass them. Some of them grunt at me. Some of them have got things in their ears.
They
so
listen
they
to
can't
something.
hear me. But other people, there are some people now who will say hello before I get to them. And I don't know who they are. We don't know anything about each other, but we've already created a friendship. And I think food is a hugely important thing.
Absolutely.
Where I live, I am so lucky and so fortunate. I often come home and find a curry outside the door waiting for me. Sometimes I don't know who it comes from. And I never give any food back in exchange, I have to admit. It's all a one way, really. So I'm very fortunate.
But whatever you give, maybe something different.
Well, it certainly isn't food. So, you know, we have come together, I think, enormously through COVID. COVID has exposed what was negative about our community, and I think a lot of people are doing their best since COVID to what the phrase we were using was build back better.
Absolutely.
And I think that is working to some degree. We can do more.
Absolutely.
We can do way more.
Absolutely,
But,
Sister Christine.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Farooq Hussain, Sister Christine was talking about how can you make our relationship even better within the community as one human. What would be your comments, or what would you like to suggest about Interfaith Week during this through this program?
Thank you so much. Yeah, just I was listening to a really important talk from her, and she highlighted a really important point regarding the food. I want to mention here the one hadith Rasulullah ﷺ said, Ayyul Islam khayr, which task is the best in Islam? Then he said, Tut'imut ta'am, feeding people. This is the best in Islam. Therefore, there are a number of people are really hungry, number of people have got problem. Then if you and I want to have a very strong relationship, and if you want to live in peace, then always come up with this sort of help and support, like sharing food. And also, she mentioned about exchange views and ideas. Spend some time, come out of the house, and spend some time. You see the change after a few days, after a few weeks. You will see the person who you are talking to is going to be more than your own brother. Because while we exchange our views and ideas, and that sort of people will reduce their stress and reduce their stress as well, and any mental illness, and many things going to reduce while you are really coming out and then talk to people and have a cup of tea. And then there's sometimes this sort of really discussion, and this sort of discussion is release everything. Therefore, this is one of the best thing. Come out, and if you have a time, invite someone in your house, or you're going to go somewhere, and then you will see that a lot of problems, your family, your personal issue, all of them is going to be reduced. Another one is I'm going to mention here, Rasulullah ﷺ has said, you will not be believer, whatever you love, if you don't love for your brother. But nowadays, all of us, we are really self-centered. Islam doesn't like it. Islam doesn't like self-centered. Always you have to think other people who are next to you, who are surrounding you, who are your neighbors. Always you come up with the help and support, and always you try to, how you can help people, how you can do for the people. Nowadays, all of us, we are very busy in this country, everywhere. We are busy with job, we're busy with family, we're busy with our personal stuff, but people that don't have time to think about other people. But although it is very, very important in Islam, we try our best within the Interfaith Week. We try to build up relationship. And Rasulullah ﷺ also said one thing that I'm going to mention here. If you want to have a love, if you want to have affection, if you want to have a strong relationship, then tahadu and tahabbu. Tahadu, you exchange gift. We try to give a gift, regardless of whoever it is, faith, non-faith, whoever it is, even on one pen.
just little, £1, £1, £2, just exchange your gift. You will see the love will just spread amongst you. So we are very stingy sometimes. We don't want to spend some time. Therefore, we need to have this. Islam teaches us. And sometimes sharing food, sometimes gift, exchange gift, sometimes this sort of thing is really make a lot of change in our society.
Thank you very
But
much.
nowadays, we don't want that. We are very, very self-centered. Self-centered people never can be successful, never can be successful here and hereafter. They will not successful in this dunya, they will never be successful in life after death.
But we are,
May Allah give us tawfiq, then
thank you
inshallah,
very much.
we
We are
can
talking
help
about
people.
positiveness as well. Thank you very much. I'll come to you, Barrister Payton. We're coming towards the end of the program in about 10 minutes' time. So what happened, what you heard from Sister Christine Farooq Hussain about how could you make even better the society so that we can live in harmony, no war, nothing, as one human?
I think that to sum up, the solution is unity. And the expression of unity is love. And what we can do to eliminate those problems that you've just mentioned is learn about love. I think that's something that's written about extensively in almost all world religions that we have today. This love that is born from the divine, this boundless, limitless love that suffers, that's able to go through hardship but doesn't change and stands firm. That's something that I feel if we learn to manifest that in action between the two of us, to be able to understand and to be able to be attracted to somebody because of their good qualities, because of what's special about them, not for any other reason. And to always maintain that that's the true reason for connection between two people. That will go a long way to changing the world as we see it today. Because a lot of wars and disunity stem from misunderstanding, prejudice, distrust. And the only way to break down those barriers is to engage those people in not just conversations, but opening hearts.
Through actions as well.
Right? Being able to sincerely open yourself to somebody that you feel a stranger to, somebody who you might not be comfortable in their presence. But that's the only way to get over it. We can intellectualize this idea that we're all equal and that I should feel the same with you as I do with my family. But until I actually go out and make that a reality, until I do that and I have that feeling with you, then that thought stays as intellectual. It doesn't manifest in reality, and that's what's needed, is to put those principles into practice so that we can see them and we live them and we learn.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Finally, I'd like to ask you, Ramchandra Shah, I mean, we are talking about so many things. Definitely from, you had three of the speakers that talk about how can you come as one human to reduce our conflict within ourselves. We can have more similarities than differences. How can we make the society even better?
You can see in Hinduism, as I'm talking about oneness, world is one family. This is the theme of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And then if we think about this, we are talking about our barriers. That barriers, so that means maybe so I believe something, you believe something, different people believe different thing. Because you and my brother never will think one way. Even so that when our parents are same, my sister, my brother, definitely so that when are different from me, my thinking, my psychologically or physically, intellectual, whatever you thinking, we are different. But we have to have this unity. We have to think about this oneness different way, so that when we believe in, we are talking about the religion, and at the same time, some people they are talking about they don't believe in religion, but some people is spirituality. So what does mean? So that means you are thinking oneness with other people, you as a human being. So that means sometimes maybe they don't believe God. It doesn't matter, you believe God or not. So we are talking about the faith and believe in God, and some people, many people we know, they don't believe in God. So in our society, young generation, you can see, so many people, they don't believe in God. but they believe something, they have faith. It doesn't mean you believe in God means you don't have faith. So that way, so that means, we believe in, I'm talking about, we're running Vivekananda Center. I have given names so that when we started, Vivekananda Human Center. So why? Then human is the main important thing. Vivekananda's message was Ramakrishna, so that when we practice about Ramakrishna, and that Ramakrishna main thing was, you serve the people as God. If you close your eyes, so he was tell, you close your eyes, you do meditation, you think there is God, but no, you open your eyes, you can see who are next to you, who are, and then serve them as your God. So that means that is not only service, so that means that is conditional love. I serve you, I am the bigger than you. No. So you worship, you try to see God within human being. And that way, so that means we can break this, because I love you because I can see me within you and me are same. So that way, so if we can believe in this oneness and that spirituality we can develop, then we can, and I think is break these barriers and we can love each other.
Excellent, excellent. Farooq Hussain, I know we are going to read something together. You don't have this copy. So would you like to say within 30 seconds something very quickly to the community during this particular week? A good 20 seconds.
Just we come together and be united, and we try to forget the differences, and we always come up, we'll promote love, respect, mutual respect, and also this is very, very important, what has been said by the guest, and we try to improve and try to practice on that.
Thank you very much. You listen to something we're going to read, actually. Okay, this was developed by the faith communities of the UK with the Interfaith Network for the UK for the shared act of reflection and commitment at the House of Lords as part of the official Millennium celebrations. Sister Christine will be leading this reading and will follow.
All right.
In a world
scarred by the evils of war, racism, injustice, and poverty, we offer this joint act of commitment as we
look to our shared future.
We commit ourselves as people of many faiths to work together for the common good, uniting to build a better society, grounded in values and ideals we share. Community, personal integrity, a sense of right and wrong, learning, wisdom and love of truth, care and compassion, justice and peace, respect for one another, for the earth and its creatures. We commit ourselves in a spirit of friendship and cooperation to work together alongside all we share our values and ideals to help bring about a better world now and for generations to come. Thank you very much. প্রিয় দর্শক, আমরা কথা বললাম ইন্টারফেথ লার্নিং নিয়ে। আমরা এই দেশে স্কুলে ইন্টারফেথ নিয়ে কথা হচ্ছে। আমরা নেক্সট জেনারেশনকে জানিয়ে দিব যে we really want to live as one human, trying to share all the time our faith with others, our good practice with others. People in the community, we live side by side as human, and really is great for us to live in harmony, and we would like to live in harmony. Thank you very much, Barrister Patton.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Christine. Thank you, Ramchandra Saha. আমরা চাই আপনাদের ছেলেদেরকে মেয়েদেরকে আপনারা ইন্টারভিউতে কথা তুলে ধরবেন, ভালো বিষয়গুলো তুলে ধরবেন এবং অন্যের সম্বন্ধে জানার সুযোগ দিবেন। এই প্রত্যাশায় আমরা বিদায় নিচ্ছি। ভালো থাকবেন, সুন্দর থাকবেন। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।